Stanimals Hostel is not cheap. It's $25. But as you can see, you're sleeping on the floor. Who's going to pay $25 to sleep on the floor? I mean, it's really tight. He's like, he's trying to get as much money as he can, so he's herding us in here like cattle. And not to talk bad about it. And there was somebody sleeping in the common room as well. But between you and me, I'll tell you like this. I didn't pick this hostel for the amenities, obviously not, but it's the location. So when I recommend this hostel, I'm recommending a hostel from the sense that you can take care of a whole lot of stuff in relative walking distance from a hiker's perspective, and that's what makes this worth staying. Other than that, the hostel experience, I wasn't even here. I went to bed at like 1:30 last night trying to upload videos. So at the end of the day, if you just need a place to drop your stuff and take care of what you need to take care of, boom, that's it. As you know, well, I won't even bring that up. But just keep in mind, I did walk from the movie theater back to the hostel at around 9:30. So just keep that in mind. All right, out here. Morning. It's 10 o'clock. I'm at McDonald's. I hooked up with some hikers the day before yesterday, and so they just got to town. They gave me a call. They're at the Quality Inn. So I'm going to chill and have breakfast at McDonald's, then I'm going to walk down the street to the Quality Inn, and they already got the room. I'm just going to, split it with them, and there you have it. So today is going to be a 0 day for me. I only got one more video to upload, but like I said, I went to bed at 1:30 last night, so I'm just trying to chill. Like I got to adjust my pants because they're starting to just fall down, but that's about the only thing that I have to do today. So I'm at McDonald's right now. I'll show you the hotel room when I get there. Overall, just so you know, I do recommend Stanimals for the location. I mean, that's just prime real estate. You can take care of a lot of things, so I'll give it a thumbs up, and we'll let that be the final word on that out here. I'm walking to the Quality Inn right now. There should be a key at the front desk with my name on it. The guy sent me a text and said they're going to Kroger's. So I'm imagining they're resupplying. I did that yesterday. So since I know I got the room to myself, I'm going to go down, claim a bed, take a shower. I'm 79% into this last video I'm trying to download. So once I get that done, then I can relax. It's just downloading these videos is taxing, but it's alright. I would give you footage of Waynesboro, but it's so big, you wouldn't be able to wrap your head around it as far as perspective goes. So I'll show you the Quality Inn when I get there out here. This is Sunday, and not even the laundromat is open. I mean, that's what it is when you're going into these like Bible Belt towns on like Sunday. It's almost like, what's the point? Because everything's going to be closed. That's the main reason why I hiked in here Saturday, just to avoid that. So keep that stuff in mind. Sundays are just as bad as holidays when you're down in these southern towns out here. It's like the whole town is closed on Sunday. It's amazing. Inside the room at Quality Inn, just so you know, it says in the book $65. After taxes and whatever they want to put on it, the room is over $80. So just keep that in mind. There's no 81 with tax. So you're going to get fleeced no matter how you look at it. It also advertised in the book that 4 people can go in one room for $65, but just know that's $81 plus tax. So, out here. I'm making a food run. I'm going to Kroger's to get me some Tropicana orange juice. Aside from the Ensure, I take that for my health. I just love Tropicana orange juice. I can down a whole half a quart of that or half gallon of that stuff, and it's healthy. I'm gonna get some Ben and Jerry's, and I'm gonna try to find a Domino's or just order Domino's. So I'm hiking out tomorrow. I already set up my ride to pick me up at 9, and that's one thing I would tell people. They have lists of people that'll come and take you to the trail. Don't wait till it's time to go and start making calls. What I did was, when I got a respite today after my nap, I went down the list and started calling people until I got them, and set up a ride to pick me up from the hotel at 9 o'clock and take me back to the trail. And I'd recommend you do the same as well. All right, out here. Just got dropped off in that Jeep. It's time to get back into the woods. I took 1-0. That 0 was planned for. It's 9:09. We'll just call it 9 o'clock. I'm only going 8 miles into the next shelter. We're starting to head into Shenandoah proper. So I'll see you in a bit, because I'm walking over a highway. Back in the woods. About a mile in, you got to register to go through the Shenandoahs. This is what your card should look like when you're done, and you attach it to your pack. And this is where the cards are, where you get them from. You used to have to do this in Fontana when you're going up through the Smokies, but they just started taking your money now. So you got to fill this out and then attach it to your pack and leave it attached on the outside, which is stupid because the rain's gonna take it or maul it or however you want to do it, but at least with the wire there's evidence that something was there out here.
If you get another chance at it, I heard that Mad Max one's really good.
Yeah, Front Royal has a movie theater. Looks like there's some trail magic or something at the road crossing. Why other reason would somebody just be sitting there? We'll see. I don't know that I would call it trail magic, but it was something. I got some water and hanging on the post, somebody's mom left some trail magic in the form of a bag of M&Ms, individually wrapped bags of M&Ms. So that's cool too. I'm never one to linger, so I grabbed some M&Ms for later, took some water, and I'm headed on up out here. I'm 8 miles in. The shelter's there. It's down that road, 0.3 miles. It's right now we're on the outskirts of Shenandoah, even though I have the permit and all that. I wouldn't say we're in Shenandoah proper. Perhaps the next shelter. It's 12:30 right now, and to be honest with you, I don't want to stop. So the next shelter's 13 miles. I guess today is going to be 21 out here. Okay, now we're started coming to Shenandoah Park proper. You see all kind of posts like this letting you know what's up. And they take great care as far as pride is probably the better word, as far as the upkeep of the park. And they ask that you recognize that effort and do your part, which is understandable. These are those pylons I told you about. Yellow, well, I'm not gonna be lying to you, but anyway, spring. I was gonna say yellow means spring, but I'm not gonna tell you that. Obviously, it's saying spring right here. Information about water and boiling and so forth. This is my kind of weather. It's nice and warm. Everything's glowing. I love the Shenandoahs. Okay, these people aren't doing trail magic, but they were kind enough to just feed me from the surplus they had. I kind of feel like a bum, but and I have a Pepsi here.
Gave you a Pepsi.
Yeah. Apparently they never heard of hikers hiking a trail and everything. So
she hasn't.
Okay.
Well, I have heard it. I have
Why
heard it.
ask
I just
so many
never
questions?
because I just didn't never knew it. I've never met anybody who did it. I have a brother who's a major hiker. Nobody. We aren't hikers, but
Gotcha.
we have hikers in our family.
No, we're supporting Annie, who's running.
She's running the Shenandoah Park.
Oh, that's like a yeah, that family really took care of me. I mean, I kind of feel guilty, but hey, you know. Anyway, they were out here supporting their daughter, who is running the Shenandoah. I think they said 112 miles in 4 days. That's what she's doing. I'm sharing this information with you so you can see just how tame the Shenandoahs are. If you got women out here running this 112 miles in 4 days, then you should have no problem popping off 20 miles, at least 20 miles a day. I was only supposed to do 8. I'll end up doing 21. And I'll tell you like this, no part of the trail is easy, not even Maryland. You're still taking 8,000 steps. Even if it was flat, it's the movement, it's the being on your feet, it's the weight on your back. But in comparison, it's tame trail. And if you're healthy enough, and I know that doesn't sound right, but there are a lot of people out here that aren't carrying a stove. So they're eating M&Ms and chocolate bars when they should be eating dinner. I'm sorry, but let's just say it's not recommended. So, would you expect people like that to do 20 miles a day? No. Will that stop people like that from doing 20 miles a day? No. And how will they fare with that? You know, they may hurt themselves, or it's like I said before, when you've had enough and you're not dealing with any physical injuries, fatigue will present itself in your mind. You'll break mentally before you'll break physically. And so when you're not giving yourself what you need, it's going to hit you first in your head. But I talked about all this in my last videos. So before I start babbling, just remember what I told you. Shenandoahs is not that bad. You can knock out 20s. And besides that, when we get to the waysides, the little stores on the trail, I want to show you those. So it's like you can hike 13 miles, go in back, get some chips and the soda, and then go to the shelter. So I'll keep you posted. I drank a soda. I wasn't supposed to. I'm a little bloated, but it was still good out here. You know, I was sitting here thinking about that scale, and there's no way anybody can convince me that I lost over 30 pounds. I just find that too hard to believe. Although I'm a personal trainer in the real world, I calibrated that scale, but I weighed myself at the hostel and it said 176. But that was one of those scales that you just step on. So I don't know. I just feel too good. I mean, you can't lose that much weight and still do what you do. So it's like, The thing is, you shouldn't even weigh yourself at all. Don't get caught up in stuff like that. Of course, if you have a budget, stick to it. But some things, you just have to go and just do it without worrying about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, I say this to say that everybody's not going to lose weight the same. I've seen women go from Georgia to Harper's Ferry and gain weight. I've seen guys do the same thing and still look the same. I guess it all depends on habits and diets and all that. Don't look at me as the norm and be like, oh, I guess that's the way it is, because it isn't. And with me sharing that 30 pounds, it seems to me like that I may end up discouraging people to do it, thinking that they'll melt away or something, and that's not the case. I was at 60 pounds. I'm sure I'm under 45 right now. Like I said, you get smart and you work with it. But at the end of the day, I feel good. I don't believe I'm malnutritioned. I'm doing my geriatrics diet with the Ensure. I mean, I got too much experience behind me, and I've learned too much to just, let myself go, so to speak. So if you ask me, there's just something wrong with that scale. Maybe I lost 20 pounds, and I don't think I'm shrinking any more or less than before. And I'm certainly eating good. I never go to bed hungry. And as you can see, if there's an opportunity to get something, I'm gonna get it. Like those people, they don't even know what Trail Magic is. I see a van stuffed with goodies, I'm going over there. That's just general purpose. That's who I am. So yeah, out here. According to this, I'm 7 miles away from the shelter. Yep. Close to the shelter. This is me going backwards. When I looked at my book, the gap, the parking lot, is past the shelter by a mile. One thing about those little poles and the way the small writing is, I guess you got to read them. You got to know where you're at. So I got to go backwards and find the shelter out here. Apparently, I just love going in circles. What I saw was the gap, not the parking lot. So I was going a mile back, and I passed a hiker that explained it. Unfortunately, it's starting to rain. I had it timed perfectly, so I guess I'm getting wet right now out here. I left town at 9 o'clock. I started hiking at 9:30. 22 miles later, I'm at the shelter. It's raining, or at least it was, and it was a good, I would say, 87 degrees today. Felt wonderful, by the way. How you doing?